What's going on, y'all? We're here at Walmart. We're gonna do a full grocery shopping haul for foods that help you build muscle. Let's jump into it. So going into the grocery store, you want to have a plan. And so what I like to think about are there are basically three things that we're looking for. We're looking for protein source, we're going to look for a carb source, and then we're going to have some healthy fats in there. So walking into most grocery stores, you're going to start in the produce aisle or get our fruits, our vegetables, and that is going to include some of those carbohydrates. For these. So I'm gonna meal prep most of my food this week, and what that means is I'm gonna cook it in advance and portion it out for myself throughout the week. So I wanna find food items that are gonna go well in multiple recipes. Broccoli's great, you can have it on the side with steak, or I can chop it up and I can make some beef and broccoli with rice Asian recipe. Now, a great snack to have throughout the week are apples. Apples are very high in nutrients, but mainly they're very high in fiber. And in today's culture, most people do not get enough fiber in. So like they say, an apple a day keeps a doctor away. Yeah, so going into winter time, it's kind of like bulking season, and I don't know that I'll necessarily go into like a bulk, but I definitely want to put on a little bit of size and muscle, and so I'm going to be shopping on a budget, but still trying to get foods that are going to help me build muscle, and so protein and clean carbs are the name of the game there. So depending on your taste preference, you might want sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are great. They're a complex carb, but honestly, they take a little while to digest, and it's probably better if you're more on a cutting regimen to have sweet potatoes. I want something that's a little faster digesting and is gonna be helpful before my workouts. So I personally like the taste of red potatoes. I typically just go ahead and try to find them already in a bag. It's just portioned out for me. This is gonna be 2 to 3 meals worth of potatoes. I think they taste great, and again, they're gonna go in a lot of different recipes. Now, as you're shopping, the absolute number one thing you should avoid all this stuff. But don't let videos out there. I know people like Sam Sulek and other people are gonna say that you just need to bulk up and this sort of food is fine. For me, it starts a rabbit hole of just eating absolute junk, and this does not help you build muscle whatsoever. You wanna avoid all of this as much as possible. Bananas, not much to say about that. They taste good. Alright, so we made it over to our protein section, and there's going to be a lot of different options here. As I'm trying to get a little bit bigger, it's okay to have some fat in the meat source. So I don't need to get the leanest one. I obviously don't want a beef source that is really, really fatty, but you know, 83% lean beef is probably pretty good. This ground sirloin looks pretty good. So this is 90% lean, 10% fat. That's pretty much perfect for what you want. There's a lot of information out there in terms of like what kind of meat you should be having. I have red meat pretty much every single day, and unless you naturally have some sort of cholesterol issue, which is going to be genetic, red meat is totally fine. It's slightly high in cholesterol, but as long as you're working out regularly, that really shouldn't be a problem. Steak for me is just one of my favorite foods. So there's so many options of good cuts of steak, but I'm gonna look for a nice juicy ribeye to have. So ribeye is a more expensive steak, but I honestly love the taste and I think it's worth it. Ribeye is gonna have a bit more fat than other cuts of steak, but like I said, as I'm trying to get a little bit bigger, that's okay. And this is kind of like my treat that I get to have once or twice a week, is a nice ribeye steak. So again, we're looking at the meats, and we have two different options. We've got 85% lean and 15% fat, or we've got extra lean, which is that 97. And really, the fattier food is gonna taste better, and that's what I'm gonna go with right now. I wanna get as many calories in if I'm trying to build muscle, so it's okay to knock at the extra lean one if you're trying to build muscle. So one food item that I like to look for is ground chicken. A lot of places have ground chicken, but it looks like there is actually one left. So a lot of people don't even know that ground chicken is a thing. This tastes really, really good. Boom, so we found what we're looking for. Yeah, you work out, but you can't push a shopping cart. So I'll probably make some smoothies this week. That's a great way to get some extra calories in and get your protein powder in. You've got a lot of options for frozen fruit, but again, I'm looking for versatility, something that's gonna go in a lot of different recipes. So I'll get some mixed berries. Frozen berries do maintain a lot of nutrients, so this is actually pretty good for you. Green peas are very high in fiber. They're great for you, but more than anything, these are really easy to throw in a recipe. If I just do not feel like cooking some vegetables, I can steam these up really quick and they're gonna go in a lot of recipes. Black beans, I like to throw these into a Hispanic style recipe. I've got those peppers that I'm gonna mix these with, and I've got that ground chicken, and I can make some taco bowls with this. So kind of a hack that I figured out recently is salsa. Salsa tastes great and it's very low calorie, so it's great to add on. I'm not wild about spicy, so I like to find me some medium chunky salsa. I'm just kidding, I'm not gonna do that. So rice, ton of options of rice. Really does not make much of a difference between white rice or brown rice if you're trying to build muscle. Both are fine. I personally like the taste of white rice better. And then just depending on if you're trying to save money or not. If you are trying to save money, like boom, we're gonna go for this big boy, this 20 pounds of rice, but I don't need this much rice, honestly, so I'll get a smaller one. Honestly, a 5-pound thing of rice is gonna last me a long time, so this is what I'll throw in there. Oh, Kobe. 2 points. Tortillas are a hack for sure. They taste great in this brand, Ole Extreme Wellness. It is keto certified. It uses flaxseed in here. I like to use these with my breakfast, so it makes a great egg wrap, and you get a ton of fiber. It's 15 grams of carbs, and you've got 11 grams of dietary fiber. Basically, what that means is you're gonna have some good poops. Avoid, avoid, avoid. You do not need ramen. Avoid. We will need something in here. What up, dude? Good to see you. Cereal. I love cereal. I do not keep cereal in the house because I will consume an entire box in one sitting, and that is just not good for anyone. Ain't nobody got time for that. So cereal can work, but not for me. All right, so oatmeal, if you do work out, there is a 99% chance you consume oatmeal on a regular basis. I love the taste of oatmeal. We're gonna go down here, we're gonna find some Quaker oats. I like the quick 1-minute oats. I find that they break down a little bit quicker and are gonna work better in most recipes, a lot easier to use. You can, of course, if you really wanna take the time to use steel cut oats, you can do that, but Quaker oats are gonna be great and they're gonna last a while for me. So if you do work out, there's a 99% chance that you consume peanut butter on a pretty regular basis. I do like to find a natural peanut butter. I find that Jif makes a pretty tasty natural peanut butter. You don't have to mix it up every single time that you open it or that you use it. You can, of course, if you're shopping on a budget, you want to get the bulk item, but for me, this is good. Bread is a tricky thing. Most people think you cannot have bread. So bread is a tricky thing. Most people think you cannot have bread, but again, if you're trying to build muscle, you're gonna need a surplus of calories and probably a surplus of carbohydrates as well. Bread is refined, but you're gonna get a lot of carbohydrates in a small serving. So what you wanna look for is a whole grain or a seed bread. Really, any of the brands are fine. You just wanna find something that's whole grain. And what that means is it's gonna have more nutrients for your body as opposed to a refined white bread just does not have as much nutrients. Exactly, there you go. You know what to look for. Seed bread. She got her seed bread. That's great. There's honestly so many different bread options. Of course, if you're using a recipe that like you need a certain type of like bun or artisan bread, you can do that. but if any sort of whole grain or seed bread is going to be good. So we're going to walk down this aisle. 99% of everything in this aisle should be a void, but what we're going to look for is a healthy chip option. All right, so we'll pick up one that maybe some people are going to look at and think it's healthy. They think poppable, and the bag is light, so maybe we're going to think it's healthy. And then we're going to go back and we're going to look at the label here. So we're looking for a few things to avoid. Sunflower. So the oil is actually pretty good, but one thing that is just not great for you are all these just different types of flavoring to get this sort of white cheddar cheese flavor. That stuff is just not good for you, and the ingredients, there's just way too many ingredients. What we want to do is find a chip option that has a very low amount of ingredients. Here is a healthy chip option. These are the popcorners. Okay, so this is the kettle corn, sweet and salty, and we're gonna go back and we're gonna look at the ingredients. Look how low that is. Yellow corn, sunflower oil, cane sugar, and sea salt. So this is, you know, it's not the best for you, but it's very simple and a low amount of ingredients. It's not gonna cause inflammation in your gut. So these are a great snack that we'll have throughout the week. If you are in an absolute pinch, deli meat is an okay option. Deli meat is very, very high in protein, so we'll look back here. 9 grams of protein, 2 grams of carbs, 1 gram of fat. So this is, again, if you're in a pinch, this is going to be a good option, but this is processed. It uses a lot of preservatives to make sure that it has a long shelf life. So I'm not going to get this, but if you are someone who's low on budget and you just need to find a good protein source that's kind of versatile, this could be a good option. All right, cheese. I love cheese. What I found that just works best in most meal plans is mozzarella cheese. So we'll find, so we've got mozzarella cheese, reduced fat. So again, we want to look at the nutrition label. Very low on the fat, low carbs, and a great amount of protein. I like the texture of this cheese, so it's going to go in a taco recipe, it's going to go on a cheeseburger, it's going to go in your eggs great. Mozzarella cheese is going to go with a lot of recipes and good for you. If you work out, there's a good chance you're having Greek yogurt on a regular basis. Honestly, a good Greek yogurt is a total hack, but you're gonna have a lot of options, and it's important to know what to look for. The best thing to do is look at the nutrition label. So my usual go-to is this Greek yogurt right here, the 2% milk fat. And so again, we look at it, a good amount of fat, not too high, carbohydrates high. There's no added sugar. That is really important. No added sugar, and 17 grams of protein per serving. That's awesome. So we want to compare this to something else that maybe looks healthy. I don't even know what this brand is, but 28 grams of protein, okay. And we're going to look back on here. This one's actually pretty good. 28 grams of protein. We've got no added sugar, which is great, and 4.5 grams of carbs. This is a pretty good option. We'll look at a few other ones. We've got the great value. We'll pick up a flavored one, the peach. This is just low-fat yogurt, not Greek yogurt. And then this is what you want to avoid. It includes 16 grams of added sugar, 5 grams of protein. So this does have probiotics, which is going to be okay for you, but it's just basically sugary ice cream, sugary froyo, whatever you want to call it. It's not great for you. Since I am trying to get a little bit bigger, I'm going to actually go for the 5% milk fat. And so what that means is it's going to have a bit more fat. Still, it doesn't have any added sugars. A little bit lower on the protein, but I'm going to get more calories with this one, which is what I'm going for. Ooh, late night snack is actually that Greek yogurt that we just got, and I mixed that with some flavored protein powder. There's a lot of different companies that have different flavored protein powders. You mix that with Greek yogurt, it is absolutely amazing. So when you're going to your egg aisle, if we're looking for versatility, I always get egg whites, and then I'm gonna get some regular eggs as well. Egg whites I find go better if you're making like a breakfast wrap or you're making a breakfast sandwich. Actually, egg whites cook better and they're gonna go in the wrap better. So just for texture and taste, that's what I like the egg whites for. Egg whites also have basically no fat, probably no fat. Yeah, they have no fat and they're just pure protein. So this is gonna be a great addition to protein shakes. It is pasteurized, so you can drink it raw, or it's gonna go great. And then eggs are higher calorie, super nutrient dense in the yolk there. So these are good combo to have throughout the week.
Does it matter what kind of egg you buy?
It really does not matter what kind of eggs you you buy. I just know this brand, and so I'm always gonna go for Eggland's Best eggs just because you can find it everywhere. I'm familiar with this brand. I'm gonna wanna find large eggs because I'm trying to get large, you know? All the goodies in here. I am curious what this total is gonna be. Dang it. I did it again.
You're fired.
Firing myself.
All right, I got you.
Okay, so we just finished totaling everything up. Keep in mind the ribeye steaks were pretty expensive, so if I was really trying to shop on a budget, I would probably take those out, but it's kind of my special treat for this week. So the total is $128.32. That is over a week's worth of food for building muscle. So I'm gonna be eating a lot of food from this. That's actually not so bad. Taking out those ribeye steaks, that would be less than $100 for over a week's worth of food. Oh man, so we just did some grocery shopping, how to grocery shop when trying to build muscle, and kind of what I learned from that is I'm really hungry right now and that food looks really good. So highlights from today, we got a lot of great items that are gonna work in a lot of different meals. Again, I'm meal prepping with most of this sort of stuff, so I'm getting very simple foods that are gonna go in a lot of different recipes. And this diet plan that I've kind of developed from this grocery shopping trip is high protein, high carb diet. The fats aren't gonna be too high in this, and that's fine. You really want protein and carbs when trying to build muscle. So hopefully this video was helpful for you. I hope this gives you some ideas on what type of foods you need to buy if you're trying to build muscle. Now, if you do need more help with meal planning and just more help with coaching and figuring out what to do, I do offer nutritional help. You can go to my website, which is mdeanfitness.com. You fill out a little form there, and you and I will hop on a phone call. We'll figure out your exact fitness goals, and I will coach you from there. Thanks for watching.